Welcome to 1977, when Apple was first incorporated, Elvis Presley left the building for the very last time, and an absolute star of the Australian motor industry was born. This is a 1977 Mazda 323. Predecessor to the top-selling 3, that first 323 was actually the third generation Mazda Familia, a compact 5-seater small car launched in Japan all the way back in 1964. The Familia was also Mazda's first main export model, arriving in Australia soon after, helping to establish the brand as a maker of simple and reliable transport. That is, until the second-gen version surfaced in the late 1960s, bringing with it the first rotary-powered passenger car in the swoopy R100 two-door. Selling alongside the durable and dependable 1200 and later 1300 sedans, this groundbreaking sports coupe ushered in Mazda's love affair with the Wankel engine, igniting a range of RX badge models that the Hiroshima-based brand has become synonymous with to this very day. Except, those early rotaries were thirsty and, initially at least, utterly troublesome, self-imploding just as the first fuel crisis gripped the world, ruining Mazda's reputation and driving it close to bankruptcy. By the mid-1970s, the company was teetering on the edge of the abyss. Now, all this history is essential in understanding the journey that the Mazda 323 has made in the 40 years since it's been introduced in Australia. Let's go for a drive. This is the Mazda 323 that started it all. It's the FA4, released in 1977 in Australia. This is where they said, right, we're going to go and be a mainstream rival to cars like the Toyota Corolla, Holden Gemini, Ford Escort. And like those cars, this is rear-wheel drive because it's actually a rebodied previous generation Mazda 1300. In many ways, this car is also a throwback. The switchgear is scattered in that kind of 60s non-uniform sort of way. And of course, being rear-wheel drive, it does have the propensity to be a bit taily in the wet. But the fundamentals of Mazda sound engineering, they're there in terms of how strong and robust the 4-cylinder engine feels, the light 4-speed manual gear shift. Essentially, this is still a great little car. And actually it was known as the great little car, the Mazda GLC in North America. How crazy is that? The first front-wheel drive Mazda 323, the BD series, it was in the August 1980 issue of Wheels. And Wheels actually features prominently in this car's history, from an Australian perspective anyway, because it went on to win the 1980 Wheels Car of the Year award. Offered in 1.3 or 1.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine guises with 4 or 5-speed manual or 3-speed automatic transmissions. This particular Mazda 3 really helped persuade Australians that front-wheel drive hatchbacks were the future as far as small cars were concerned. And you can see why Australians loved this generation 323. It just felt like a fresh, modern and interesting sporty car to drive. We're in the 1989 to 1994 Mazda BG Astina SP. Now this car was a decidedly upmarket move for Mazda. This particular car incorporated pop-up headlights because it never really been done in a mainstream passenger car, so they wanted to impart a feeling of luxury and sportiness as well as modernity, and this is what this car is all about. And I am shocked at how well it drives today. The 1.8 litre twin cam engine is just a peach. It revs to high heaven. I mean, we're talking almost 7,000 RPM red line. It just is a driver's car. I am in a 1994 to 1998 BH Astina with the 2-litre V6, which was an incredible engine. I cannot believe how daring this car must have been with its really coupe-like design, which really harks to Japan's love affair with the personal coupe. Unfortunately, it was also the car that helped drive Mazda almost to bankruptcy in the mid-90s and into Ford Motor Company's arms, because developing cars as niche as this was really financial insanity. We are in the last of the 323 badged cars, a BJ Astina SP20. Now there's a name for you. This car was introduced in 1998 and ran till the end of 2003. And it really marked Mazda's sober years after the madness of the earlier Astina V6s and hardtops and models that sold only in niche numbers. This was the punishment. But at any rate, I like the Euro wagonoid hatch styling of this car. I like the chunky design details, and I think it represents something of a great used car buy, especially for people who want a bit of, I think, quality in their used car, but also desire the reliability that Mazda brings. So the last of the 323 may not have been the most visually exciting car, but it certainly was a good springboard to better things. Okay, I'm in a 2005 Mazda BK3. So this is the 3 that restarted it all for Mazda. What can I say about this car? I think it's aged extremely well. I didn't realise just how, I wouldn't say avant-garde, but just how progressive it was. The interior, and particularly the dash design, I think is one of Mazda's best ever. So there's a simple elegance to it that really makes you feel welcome as soon as you jump into it. And still a delight to drive, so well done Mazda. You can see and appreciate why Mazda is where it's at with a car like this. And finally, here I am in the 2017 Mazda 3 SP25 Astina. This is the top of the line model with a 138 kilowatt, 250 newton meter, 2.5 litre, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated petrol engine, driving the front wheels, of course, via a 6-speed automatic gearbox that Mazda dubs Sky Active. I've got to say that this car feels more than 2 or 3 generations ahead. It goes really hard, it brakes very quickly, and has a level of poise and control that betrays the fact that it has a multi-link rear end and really a great chassis. It's easy to see why this remains one of the most popular privately bought cars in Australia. In 40 years, Mazda's small car has certainly had a very interesting and varied career. No wonder it's become a stalwart of the Australian small car industry. You've certainly earned your place in the hearts and minds of Australian small car buyers. Happy birthday, Mazda 3.